I'm Barbara Zabawa, and I am here to explain the book that was just published yesterday on Amazon. But what I wanted to cover today, and leave enough time, of course, for all of your questions if you have any, is I wanted to introduce myself, introduce the book, and why I wrote it, and then give you a little flavor of what's inside the book, what to expect. And then I want to share some other exciting news, which is the creation of an app that if you get the book, you'll read a little bit about it there too. But I actually wanted to share my screen and show you what I have created. So I'm really thrilled that people keep joining. So sorry. This is really great. So here I have a paperback copy. It's a proof copy, so I can't resell it, but you can see it comes in paperback. It's 218 pages, and it covers basically, I mean, I've been practicing what I call wellness law now since 2014. So what is that, 11 years? Law since 2014, healthcare law since 2001. So a long time. And when I started my law firm in 2014, wellness law, I didn't really know what I was doing. I knew that there was an industry out there that wasn't getting served adequately, in my opinion, by the legal service industry. And so I just started helping people. And then was a whole, swath of types of providers, from licensed healthcare providers to unlicensed wellness practitioners, coaches, Ayurveda, Reiki, homeopathy, of course, chiropractic, acupuncture, just spiritual healers, meditation, mindfulness, personal trainers, physical therapists. It just runs the gamut. And over these last 11 years, I've been getting a lot of questions about, well, frustration, first of all, about the lack of guidance that exists for people who practice in the wellness space. And so I would hear similar questions coming from different people over the last 11 years. And I've written a lot of blog posts, I've written articles, I've written other books. But I felt like what was missing was one convenient place where a lot of the same questions could be answered, because I found myself giving the same answers repeatedly, hearing the same questions over the years and giving the same answers. And I thought, this is not sustainable for me or for the market, because there's a more efficient way. And let's just put all of these questions and the answers in one book. So it's not all the questions I've ever heard, but it's the most common questions. So that's the subtitle of the book: No Fluff Answers to Wellness Practitioners' Most Common Legal Questions. So the questions that I've heard the most, the top 20, I think there's 21 chapters. So I've got about 20 questions. So each chapter in the book is a question that I've heard from different wellness practitioners. And right beneath that chapter question is a quick and easy answer, what I call a quick and easy answer, just one or two sentences, yes, no, and that. So you have the answer. You don't have to read on in the chapter if you don't want to. You can just read the question, read the answer, and move on if you want. But if you are looking for an explanation as to how I got that answer, I provide that in the following paragraphs in each chapter. And I have citations, sources. A lot of the support for my answers come from law review articles that I've written, particularly over the last year, which has been a fascinating journey for me. I've written quite a few law review articles distinguishing between healthcare and wellness, and really taking a critical eye from a legal perspective of the wellness industry. And so a lot of that analysis and research that I've been doing finds itself in this book. So I've tried to keep it short, 218 pages, and to the point, so that it's easy to read and helpful for the people who want to read it. So that's really the gist of the book, and I can kind of read off some of the typical questions and therefore the chapters, but I talk about the difference between wellness versus healthcare, wellness law versus healthcare law. The first question is this book for me? You know, who should be reading this book? And I will tell you who should be reading this book. Anyone who practices in what we call the wellness space. So especially if you're unlicensed, but even if you have a license as a healthcare professional, I know there's several people on this call that have that license to practice in some health profession. There's still a lot of interest by licensed healthcare professionals to move beyond their state where they have a license and take advantage of the technology that's out there for virtual practice and being able to see people from everywhere, from anywhere, live the van life, hashtag van life. And so there's a chapter dedicated to those individuals as well. Like, what are some special legal considerations for people who have a healthcare professional license, but also want to do different services, offer different services that might go beyond their scope as a licensed healthcare professional. Do I need a license to practice wellness? That's another chapter. Who can I help? Like, what kinds of people should I be targeting? And it might sound like an easy question, but it's really not. And that's where I really get into the differentiation between healthcare and wellness. And from a compliance standpoint, why it's so important to look at who you're helping and why they're seeking your services to avoid legal trouble. And I can say more about that if there's questions about that. What can I legally say or do? That's chapter 4. That's probably the longest chapter because that is usually the most popular question that I've heard over the years. I don't know what I can say. I don't know what I can do as a coach, for example, or as a functional medicine practitioner. I'm confused. Can you help me? So that chapter really tries to clarify things for people who have that question. What can I say about products that I sell? A lot of people want to sell supplements. Sometimes they want to sell devices. But most of the time it's nutritional supplements. So what can you do around that? What about if I have a website, what should I be saying on my website? What are some potential penalties for violating state licensing laws? Where can I offer wellness services? So that gets into state licensure laws and virtual practice. So that's addressed in chapter 5. How can I offer wellness services? So can I use technology? What kind of technology can I use? Can I see people in person? Can I sell or recommend nutritional supplements? I said that one already. Can I order labs? That's chapter 8. That's also been a very popular question over the years. A lot of people want to, what they'll say, order labs. Whether that's true or not is another matter. But there's a lot of wellness professionals who want to work with laboratory results. And so that chapter 8 deals with that question. How do I minimize my legal risk? So just some tips and tricks that I have kind of learned over the years that wellness professionals benefit from to minimize their legal risk. We get into things like, should I form a legal entity? What kind of legal entity? What about insurance? What kind of insurance do I need? What kind of permits or licenses do I need? What kind of legal documents should I have, like disclaimers and liability waivers? And then another question that I answer is, should I join a religious or membership association? That one is a fascinating one. I have gotten it a few times, but I think it presents from a legal perspective some very interesting constitutional issues. First Amendment, free exercise, and freedom of association. issues. And so there are several organizations that have formed over the last 10 years to try to take advantage and leverage constitutional protections for people who are in the wellness space as unlicensed practitioners. And so that chapter deals with that whole model, which I find really, really fascinating from a lawyer's perspective. Can clients use health insurance or HSA funds to pay for wellness services? So this is getting into how do clients pay for wellness services? Is it a tax deductible expense like medical care expenses? So that chapter is dealing with those kinds of issues. Are wellness practitioners subject to HIPAA privacy and security rules? I've gotten that one a lot. And so I answer that question in chapter 12 and 13. I am answering, can I hire licensed physicians or nurses for my wellness business? Another question that's popped up multiple times when unlicensed individuals want to get into more of a medical, especially medical spas and IV hydration type practices where a licensed professional is required. How does that work? What does that look like if you're an unlicensed wellness practitioner and want to offer licensed medical services as an adjunct to maybe what you do? How can you do that legally? What special legal risks apply to licensed healthcare professionals? I mentioned there was a chapter devoted to those individuals who do have a license. So a lot of nurses, a lot of physicians, physical therapists over the years have contacted me who want to also engage in wellness types of practices for a variety of reasons. The top of which I think most of the time is there's just a lot of burnout in healthcare, especially after the pandemic, but also just the regulatory burdens that healthcare presents. A lot of people with licenses want to kind of break free of those restrictions and embrace the freedom that wellness provides. So that chapter 14 is dedicated to a lot of those particular issues that licensed healthcare professionals face when they're trying to do wellness. So things like interstate compacts, restrictive covenants, standard of care, whether they should have a separate LLC or business if they want to continue practicing their licensed healthcare profession. Chapter 15 covers, can I offer wellness services internationally? I got that question quite a bit too. So what are the special considerations if you want to see people in Canada or Europe or Australia? So that's chapter 15. Chapter 16 is, can I practice functional medicine without a healthcare license? Because there's a lot of wellness-based services that use the word medicine, lifestyle medicine, functional medicine, as two examples. And that creates some confusion for people. It's like, but I'm not a medical doctor. I don't practice medicine, but I've gotten a certificate in functional medicine or lifestyle medicine. And how can I say that? Can you use that title, but without confusing my clients and the states that I'm not practicing medicine? So that's chapter 16. Chapter 17, do I need a lawyer? If I'm going to be practicing wellness, do I even need a lawyer? And if so, what kind? 18, should I use legal templates? That's been a question that's coming up more often because as the market grows, as the industry grows for wellness, there's a lot more resources out there that are free. And I see a lot of people coming to me who've downloaded some document or another that they found off the internet, and more recently that they've created with artificial intelligence. I mean, I love AI, and I'll show you that, and when I show you the app in a moment. But it's not perfect, and so that chapter is kind of addressing the trend in what do I do with all these free legal documents that I can find, Google searches or create through AI? Are they any good? What should I be looking for? So that's chapter 18. Chapter 19 is, where can I get more insight and help? Because this is only 218 pages. So it's not going to be comprehensive. I've tried to make it as easy to use and accessible as possible, but you still might have lingering questions even after reading the book. So the chapter 19 is giving you additional resources that are often free, so you can know where to go to get a little bit more in-depth knowledge. And then chapter 20 is an opportunity I took to talk about where I think wellness should go next based on my research and practice in the space for the last 11 years as a lawyer. So things I talk about there are wellness equity and diversity, social determinants of health and wellness, and the need for wellness law heroes. And all of these concepts stem from law review articles that I've written over the last year. And I'll talk about the wellness law heroes in a moment. And then the last chapter is just a compliance checklist. So kind of summarizing in just a couple of pages the main highlights, the main legal compliance issues that I want you all to consider. And then it kind of gives you a guide of where to go back within the book, which chapter talks about each of those compliance issues. And it serves as a nice foundation for if you were to have more in-depth conversations with others about ways you can beef up your compliance with your wellness practice. So that's the book in a nutshell. And again, I shared the link for Amazon where you can get it. It comes in two versions, Kindle version for $7.99 and a paperback version for $14.99. And yeah, I'm just really excited to have it out there as a resource for all of you. So before I move on to the app, I see that there have been some questions, one question in the chat. So if you guys have any questions about the book, please feel free to type them in the chat. I'm going to answer the one that's there right now. I'm a consultant helping employers implement workplace well-being best practice strategies. Will this book and app cover the laws that apply to employers who offer wellness programs and how they incentivize, such as HIPAA, ACA, ADA, GINA? The book, no, not really. I mean, there's mention of workplace wellness, but I didn't want to emphasize workplace wellness because, oh, grabbed the wrong one, because I already have another book out on the market called the Rules of Workplace Wellness Programs. And that book, much thicker book, is dedicated to the workplace wellness compliance space. I wanted something with this quick and easy book to be directed more at unlicensed, health wellness practitioners who are out there delivering services. Now, they might be delivering those services inside a corporate wellness program. They also might be delivering those services through their own practice or maybe through another organization. But as far as the ADA, Americans with Disabilities Act, Affordable Care Act, GINA, those rules are covered heavily, especially in Chapter 4. Chapter 4 seems to be the chapter of my books where I really dig deep in the Rules of Workplace Wellness Programs, which is also available on Amazon. So I would direct you to that book. Now, about the app is a different story. The app would have probably some use for workplace wellness compliance. And I'll show you that in a moment, but let me get to any other questions about the book before I share my screen?
I don't have any questions, Barbara. I just wanted to say congratulations, just here to support.
Thank you, Bridget. So good to see you. All right. Well, if you do have questions, please type them in the chat. I will be happy to answer any. But let me introduce you to the app. So let me share my screen. And this is the Amazon. So can you guys all see? This is the Amazon page for my book. So let me know if you can see my screen. Anyone?
We can see it.
Great, thank you. Okay, so this is the home page of the app. So if you go to wellnesslawapp.com, you will get to the app. And this is still a work in progress. Um, it is, but I mean, if you were to go to Wellness Law app right now, this is what you would see. So you would be able to access um, a lot of the content, but not everything. But I will show you what the premium content looks like as well. I'm still working with my developers on getting Apple and Google Play to approve the apps for download on your mobile phone. So it's not available yet for download through the Apple iStore or Google Play for Android devices, but very soon. It's almost there. It's quite a process. Let me just tell you, it's been quite a process. Every morning I wake up with emails from Apple about things that they're still looking for in the app, but it's getting there. So this is the desktop version, though, I mean, which is available, and you can always use the website on your phone as well. I just am looking forward to actually having an app that you can download to your phone. But what this app does, and it's mentioned throughout the book as another resource, why I created this was is similar to the book. I mean, there's just been so many similar questions from individuals over the years with very similar answers. And I realized it's not, the legal services industry has not caught up with what the marketplace needs. The marketplace needs more accessible, affordable legal help. And traditional law practice has not delivered thus far, in my opinion. In fact, I was reading an article just the other day about the latest billable hourly rate for big law firms like New York City-based law firms, which is when you're a law student, that's your dream. You want to go work for the big law firms on Wall Street or in DC. And the hourly rate, the average hourly rate right now for a lawyer in one of those firms is $3,000 an hour. And that is just not something that most of us can afford. And I know the types of people who've come to me over the years are definitely not going to pay those rates. And I question whether those individuals who work in those firms have the knowledge anyway of the wellness industry. So, knowing that legal rates should not be a barrier to getting the help that people need to feel confident about moving forward with their wellness business, because ultimately I want to see more people engage in wellness, both from delivering and receiving, because it's important. It's filling a gap that unfortunately our healthcare system is leaving open very wide because of its faults. It has many challenges on its own. So wellness is kind of stepping in to fill a lot of those gaps that people need and are looking for. But people who want to do the services, provide the wellness products and services are confused about, well, what can I do? What can I do? I don't know. I might need some legal guidance. I'm afraid to take this leap because I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble. And they have a hard time finding the legal guidance to feel confident that, yeah, I can move forward, or this is how I should move forward. So the app and the book, both, are I created to be affordable and accessible to get that kind of reassurance that people are looking for in this space. So the app, as you can see from my screen, has um, uh, educational services or content. So it has some training videos, something I've called the Wellness Law Method. Again, uh, based on law review articles I've written, it's a 5-step simple method that if you're going to do wellness services, if you follow these 5 steps, you're going to reduce your legal risk immensely. It also has access to frequently asked questions, business resources. So uh, referrals to insurance companies for professional liability insurance, virtual platforms that are compliant and certification programs that you might want to check out. It has links to my podcasts, which also have really, I think, valuable content for people who are interested in wellness compliance. It has some personal development because you have to take care of you. If you're going to do wellness, you have to make sure you're not neglecting your own health. It has links to the blogs that I've written and codes and standards that I think are important for wellness practitioners to follow, no matter what kind of wellness you do. And then the premium member content. So all the stuff except the premium member content is free. But if you wanted to be a premium member of the app, then you are going to have access to a help desk, a community chat with fellow wellness law heroes, which I'll talk about more in a moment, more education content that you wouldn't get as a free member, access to legal templates, big one, monthly meetings with me and other wellness law heroes, other premium members, and then discounts and a wellness law hero badge, which I can show you. So my daughter designed this, and what my goal is, so this relates back to the community chat. One of the things that I've written about and noticed in the last 10 years is that wellness, I've called it the Wild West from a legal standpoint. It is just wild. There's no real structure. There's segments of the industry that are trying to put in some structure. National Board of Health for Health and Wellness Coaching is being one of the prominent segments that is trying to provide some structure, some standards, some benchmarks that members follow. But there's a whole other, there are so many other people who identify as wellness practitioners, as part of the wellness community, that are feeling a little lost. And layered on top of that is this whole stigma that I think exists for wellness, at least in the eyes of the healthcare industry, which I straddle both worlds. I teach and practice in healthcare as well as in wellness. And I can tell you that healthcare, and this is nothing new, but conventional medicine looks at wellness with a bit of suspect. It's not something that they have a whole lot of confidence in because there's just, to them, not as much science backing up a lot of wellness claims. And some of that is fueled by charlatans and people who take advantage of vulnerable people. I mean, I don't know how many of you watched on Netflix the apple cider vinegar series about Belle Gibson, but if you haven't seen it, it's based on a true story about Belle Gibson. She was in the news a lot. I don't know, back in 2015, 2016, when she had like a cookbook or recipe book, and she was basically trying to tell cancer patients that if they followed her regimen, that they could cure cancer, those kinds of things. And there is a lot of that going on. And again, it's associated with the wellness industry. And that's not good. That doesn't help things. It certainly diminishes the trust that should exist in a relationship between a client and a wellness practitioner. So enter the need for standards, the need for individuals who are part of the wellness industry who want to see wellness be held to a higher standard, be viewed as something that's trustworthy and something that's valuable. And so I created this concept of a wellness law hero, and anyone who subscribes to my app as a premium member can identify as a wellness law hero. And the point is, I want to create a community of people who are like-minded, who want to do what's right by wellness, want to do what's right by their clients, from a compliance standpoint and a standards standpoint. And so that community chat is an opportunity to share best practices, to share ideas with other wellness law heroes. And the monthly Zoom meetings are another opportunity to do that as well. So that's the Wellness Law Hero. The real fascinating feature of the premium content is, of course, the help desk. And this is a new way to deliver a legal guidance, legal compliance help by offering a chat bot to ask questions of wellness related questions. So the person who asked before about the workplace wellness compliance issues, this is where you may be able to get some help. So I just opened my chat bot on my screen. And this is, so what I did is I trained an AI chatbot based on all the material, not all the material, but a lot of the material that I've written over the years. And I trained this artificial intelligence chatbot to pull information from memos, from articles, from blogs, from just emails, from all kinds of different sources. And so you can type in a question in this help desk chat, and it will generate an answer. Now, I'm going to be monitoring this. So if you do subscribe, I would be monitoring this to make sure that the answers aren't wrong and making sure that the AI is continuing to learn and grow. But it is a nice way to get a quick answer. So instead of having to contact some legal expert, wait for their response, and then, get billed for, time with them, this would be part of your subscription. You would be able to type in, hopefully someday very soon on your phone, your question, you get an answer back. So, the chatbot asks for your name. So I'm just going to type in my name, and then my email address. And then I can ask a question like, do I need a license to practice wellness? And it will think for a moment and then hopefully give me an answer. Yeah. So here's an answer that the bot is giving based on that question. Now, if I ask a question regarding workplace wellness, are the incentive rules for workplace wellness? And I don't know what's going to come up on this, if anything. I haven't asked it this question, so this is an experiment for me. Okay. So, oh, I can't scroll down. Oh, it must still be typing. But anyway, you can, oh, there it goes. It's done. Okay, so yeah, it's pretty up to date. So yeah, it's got just glancing at the answer, it looks like it's up to date on what's going on with wellness incentive rules for workplace wellness programs. So that is the chat bot, which I wanted to share with you, which again is premium member content. And I will be adding more content hopefully every week, so that it becomes more robust and more valuable to people who are members of the app community. So I will stop sharing my screen and see if there's any questions about that. Yes, so I'll put the link to the book again in the chat so that you have it again. And then let's see. And if I use online software to generate my content, Do I own it? I was told in Canva, content created is owned by Canva. I'm especially interested in graphics and cartoon-like video generation. I wonder how ownership generally applies to online content generator tools. So that's going to depend on copy. I'm sorry, I'm answering questions that I see in the chat. Oh, some more people wanted to join. So as far as being able to own content that you generate, depends, of course, on copyright. If you're using royalty-free content versus copyrighted content. Um, but you should be able to, if it's royalty free, that should be yours. But again, if you're asking specifically about Canva, you'll have to read the fine print because Canva does have a free version, and I think it also has a paid subscription version. And you might have to have the paid subscription version to declare ownership, of the content that you create. But that's something that you'll have to dig into a little deeper, which of course, if you want to contact me offline, we can do that. So looks like there wasn't any other questions in the chat. I hope I didn't miss any. Is there anything else that anyone wants to raise or comment on? Well, let me just say it again from the bottom of my heart. I couldn't be more honored that you are all here, that you spent time over your in the middle of your day on a Wednesday to hear me talk about the book and the app. I'm really excited about it. I told my law students yesterday, because I teach on Tuesdays and Thursdays, that I really look at the app as a different way of offering legal help to, that isn't, that's more accessible and more affordable. I mean, I feel like the legal services industry for too long has just neglected so many people who need help, and they are priced out of it. And I'm hoping that this app and this book can start making some change on that front. So I would love your feedback to see if you think that it can, or there's something else that needs to be done. I welcome your feedback. Please, sign up for the app, and give me feedback on that too, because it's a work in progress. It's new. There's going to be hiccups. I know that, but I think the potential is really incredible, and I can't wait to see how it evolves over time. The question did come in. Congrats. Thank you very much. How do I make an appointment with you on your website? Price is there. Yes, on my website, you can go wellnesslaw.com. In fact, I will put that in the chat if you want. And there's a contact us page on that. And again, thank you. I'm thrilled that you're here. I'm thrilled that you're interested in this work. I just as an FYI, I mean, my work is not done now that the book and the app, well, the app is going to be a work in progress, but I'm also creating a wellness law, or hosting a wellness law symposium in Kansas City in October 3rd to be exact. It's going to be the first ever wellness law symposium. We're going to have some great speakers. I had a call for papers in the academic community, and we got some just incredible response. And there's going to be sessions relating to drugs and food, like psychedelics, cannabis, organic food. There's going to be sessions on data tech and technology and privacy in the wellness space. There's going to be sessions on healthcare versus wellness. There will be a session also on well-being in the legal industry. And there will be papers written on these topics. And what's really heartwarming is that, in the legal academic community, there's been people who are writing in this space and researching in this space, but they didn't have a home. They felt like they were kind of writing into the void. I'm not sure who the audience was. And this symposium is giving them a home. and hopefully it's the first of many. And the other project that I'm working on, I did submit a grant. I'm still waiting to hear about it. Is another topic I've written about. I think I mentioned it in the book, are the wellness legal partnerships idea, where lawyers and social workers and others working in wellness can not only address lifestyle changes that people need to have to become more optimally well, but also the social determinants of health, the barriers, the environmental, socioeconomic barriers that people face in making those lifestyle changes. And this grant would be a, a study on the feasibility of that kind of program. And then hopefully that will lay the groundwork to actually implementing a pilot on this concept of wellness legal partnerships. So doing a lot of work in this area. And I just I'm so grateful to this community for, the support and interest in the work. So please contact me. I'll give you guys all my email if you have any questions and you want to talk to me directly. You can email me at this. Oh, I just did it again. I keep doing direct messages. Here's my email. Feel free to use it to ask me questions, and I will, yeah, look forward to hearing your feedback. And yeah, please, if you get the book, please consider leaving a review on Amazon. That helps. That helps a lot.